welcome. You're watching Business Today Television. I'm Sakshi Batra and with me is Shell Bhatnagar. This is Market Today, a show where we'll help you understand the closing action on the D Street. Well, for a large part of the afternoon trade, we have seen 23,000 hold on. And just as we started off this show, there is again some profit that's being taken off from that level again, and the Nifty has turned flat. So some volatile action coming in pretty much at this hour. The Nifty Bank is up about 0.4 odd percent at 48,951 odd levels. Sectorally speaking, financial services continue to be at the top. Apart from this, oil and gas, autos, Nifty Bank, private banks, infrastructure names, they are holding good at this point in time. On the Nifty, it's definitely HDFC Bank that's supporting the strong moves on the Nifty, still about 1.7% higher. It's now at 1518 odd levels. Bharti Airtel, L&T, BPCL, Ultratech Cement, these are the other top movers at this hour. Good afternoon, Shell.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. 22,965. It doesn't seem that we'll be closing above 23,000 today. Well, that's a bit of a, how should I say, a muted end to a spectacular week. But remember, this is 2:31 p.m. We still have the whole 1 hour wheel left, and let's hope and pray that you see a close of 23,000 on the Nifty. Nevertheless, what is definitely going to happen is that we are going to show you a new graph today, which is the Nifty weekly picture. I am requesting the PCR to please fire that graph, and it's actually lots of strength. My understanding is that you will see a close above 23,000 today. This, ladies and gentlemen, is probably the most important graph in my lifetime. Each morning I see this graph. This is nothing but the weekly representation of the Nifty in terms of open, low, high and close. Friday's close is even more important because that sort of sets the tone for next week, and I was hoping, or at least I'm still praying and I'm still hoping that we'll have a close above 23,000. And with that in mind, let's now dig into the dig deeper into the market. It's actually no other stock but HDFC Bank. This is something that is helping not only the Nifty but majorly the Bank Nifty. So from a low of about 1472 yesterday, the bank is doing phenomenally well. You have it at 1518 in front of you, and all sorts of data is actually benefiting the banks. Actually, remember, this is the heaviest weighted stock on the Nifty as also the Bank Nifty, and at 26 rupees higher, HDFC Bank is 1.6% above yesterday's close. It's still below 200-day DMA, but the strength of this stock is extremely beneficial for the Nifty. And there is a whole host of stocks apart from HDFC Bank within the Nifty that are doing phenomenally well. Record highs, ladies and gentlemen, on Bharti Airtel. Amongst the auto stocks, a record high on Eicher as well as Hero Motors. Remember, these are the two-wheeler stocks. And of course, record highs, Sakshi, on State Bank of India and of course Tata Steel. So these are the 5 stocks that are hitting record highs in the Nifty 50. No wonder it's doing so spectacularly well. It is still up 4 points. Let's hope for the sake of a wonderful weekend party, you see a close above 23,000. And the most important index actually is the Bank Nifty today. Remember, it is still about 1,000 points below its all-time high. Now up 176, 179 points, 48,947. This is an index that I'm looking for all of next week. It will climb back above 50,000. And the best indicator that has come from HDFC Bank. Record highs on the Nifty Mid Cap Index, record highs on the Nifty 500 Index. The mood, tenor and the underlying granularity of the market is strength. Sakshi.
Absolutely. Let's at this point in time welcome our guest on the show. Raghavendra Singh, market analyst, is with us. Raghavendra, again on a day historic as it is, 23,000 we've seen, is with us. What is next for the Nifty? Give us the big headline.
Sakshi and Shal, very good afternoon and congratulations to both of you. day before yesterday, I think we were discussing about Nifty around 22,300, 22,400. Now we are around 23,000 mark. Now wait for another 1 week, and I believe 23,500 before the month end expiry. I'm expecting. तो 23,500 के लिए बिल्कुल तैयार हो जाइए, बहुत जल्दी हमको स्क्रीन पे देखने को मिलेगा.
Wow, that's fantastic.
साक्षी, राघवेंद्र जी के लिए इंतज़ाम करते हैं घी शक्कर का. हम लोग तो 23,000 के पीछे ही पड़ के खुश हो जाएंगे, लेकिन हम लोग मेहनत कर रहे हैं 21,821 से. लेकिन बात बिल्कुल फर्स्ट क्लास है. 23,200 इज विद इन साइट एंड स्ट्रेंथ. if you see the second, I think it will be the 6th round of elections tomorrow in Delhi, and then one more round is left next Saturday. So the election day volatility will not be there, but Sakshi, you can feel it in your bones that the market is now, कि बस मेरे को छोड़ दो, अब मेरे को जाना है एक तरफ, and that direction happens to be up. 5 Nifty stocks on record highs. Will you beat it? 20 FNO stocks are on record highs.
Wow.
And in the list of record highs on the NSE 500, Sakshi, there are 35 stocks which are at this level of record peak. So the rally is very well spread, and let us see what the market holds for Sakshi.
Right. So Raghavendra, what are the 2 stock ideas that you share for all our viewers? Last hour of trading now.
LNT, LNT is looking very good on the chart. Very good breakout above 3,500. Now trading around 3680, 3700. I believe this is the stock now which can touch around 4,000 plus. See, Sakshi, the thing is, the important thing about this rally is it is a broader based rally. So all the leading stocks, frontline stocks, have given a decent rally, which have lifted up the Nifty about 23,000. Which means now from here onwards, these 3-4 stocks which are like Dhirubhai ले लो आप, या HDFC ले लो, LNT ले लो, ये stocks निफ्टी को 23,500 plus लेके जाने वाले हैं. तो जो ये buying हुई है, तो I believe all these stocks are giving good return and good volume. तो और जो भी stocks है ना, volume भी अच्छा है. So I believe LNT number 1, and apart from that, Reliance Industry are facing strong resistance around 3,000 level. Once this level will break, I think 3,200 is there on the card.
And what about HDFC Bank? You said that so 15-18 already now with us. The weight has started to move. It's finally moving out of its slumber. अब क्या एक तरफा चाल यहाँ देखने को मिलेगी? Finally जो 3 साल से लोग प्रे कर रहे हैं कि HDFC Bank में कुछ हो चले, अब क्या होगा?
बिल्कुल साक्षी, I believe HDFC Bank, we have noticed around 1380 and 1400 level. We were discussing, me, you and Sel. So वहां से अब ये स्टॉक ऑलरेडी 100 रुपीज जो है ऊपर है. अब बैंक निफ्टी को अगर 50,000 ले जाना है, 51,000 प्लस. So I believe HDFC Bank is the only bank which can lift up the bank nifty up to 50,000 plus level. So I am very much positive on HDFC Bank, and I'm hoping next week bank nifty to touch 50,000 mark.
There is an interesting data point, Sakshi, I'd just like to share on HDFC Bank. Remember, today's run-up has come on 8% increase in open interest. Not only is that a precursor of good things to happen, what also needs to be kept in mind is that foreign institutional friends of ours have not only stopped selling, they are into buy mode. And all their selling was concentrated on stocks such as HDFC Bank and Kotak Bank. Now, forget buying. If they just stop selling, you will see a relief rally coming back into these 2 counters. Remember, on an annual basis, it is HDFC Bank that is down 7% in the Nifty, and Kotak Bank is down 11%. So these are the 2 laggards which will now help the Bank Nifty on their way up. Lastly, this and Infosys amongst the 3 heaviest weighted counters of the Nifty, 2 are below 200 DMA. Once this is taken out, then 23,200 and 23,500 becomes very easy. Raghavendra ji, anything in the mid cap space that catches your fancy, sir?
I'm very much bullish on mid-cap IT stocks like LTTS, Persistent. These two stocks are looking very good, and I believe 10 से 15% की rally due अभी इसमें है. तो all these two stocks are looking very good. Apart from that, mid-cap space में अगर आप देखो तो almost all defense stocks are looking very much expensive now. तो I believe ये stock को shift करके जो defense sector को shift करके now it is time to shift into the mid-cap IT stock. एंड द स्मॉल PSUs लाइक आप बैंक ऑफ बड़ौदा ले लो, SBI ले लो, ये स्टॉक में अभी तक रैली हुई नहीं है बैंकिंग में. सो आई बिलीव ये जो सेक्टर है, ये जो स्टॉक्स हैं, इसमें होना चाहिए रैली.
ओके, गॉट दैट. जी राघवेंद्र जी बताइए.
सी देयर इज वन मोर डेवलपमेंट. आई कैन सी इन द HDFC बैंक ऑन वीकली चार्ट. There is a continuous falling wedge pattern. It's going on since almost 1700 level. Now this stock has broken that falling wedge pattern. So I believe now SDFC can touch around 1700 plus level in this rally.
Okay, 1700 plus levels coming in on HDFC Bank. The other space I wanted to draw your attention is the auto space. There are two stocks that Shell has already mentioned from the auto space which are at record high levels, Eicher and Hero. But I also want to ask you on Ashok Leyland, because Raghavendra, you were one of the first ones to talk about Ashok Leyland on our channel, that you are now turning bullish, that after a whole host of consolidation, this stock will start to perform. The earnings have come in. And the earnings have actually been strong when it comes to margins. It's beat the estimates. When it comes to profits, it's jumped by 20 odd %. From the day's low as well, we have seen some spike coming in. It's now a % higher in trade. What would you say on Ashok Leyland now, and how have you assessed the earnings?
Earnings are good, and I believe the stock will blast from this level. So I'm expecting 230, 240 levels within a week, I think. So now it is really a good time. If you have not accumulated the stock, definitely buy it. Buy on every day. Ashok Leyland, 240 plus target.
Okay, 240 plus targets coming in on Ashok Leyland, 214 right now. Even if you've not bought it, right now is a good time to take an entry and accumulate on every dip from here on as well. Apart from the, Ashok Leyland, which is largely a commercial vehicle maker, what else looks positive to you within the auto space right now?
Motor, Tata Motor. I'm very much bullish in the stock since 940 levels. So I believe that the Tata Motor can touch around 1020, 1030 levels. Buy this stock with the stop loss of 930. Now it is trading around 965. We have recommended at 940, 950 odd levels. Again, I'm saying buy on every day Tata Motor and Ashok Leyland. Don't miss these two stocks.
Okay, so two stocks coming in on the auto radar as well. That's Ashok Leyland and Tata Motors, where Raghavendra is extremely bullish. The other space that warrants our attention today is clearly Vodafone Idea, Raghavendra. This came in after the brokerage houses reports have been pegging higher targets for the stock, looking positively at the upcoming tariff hike possibilities that could augur well. The stock is now up about 15.1 odd levels already, a 7.5% kind of a rally intraday we have seen. What is your own sense? This has been a stock which has unnerved many in the past, but what now?
Again, I'm saying don't miss Idea, because see, the stock has given a strong rounding bottom breakout on daily chart and the same pattern on the weekly chart. So I believe the stock can touch around 18 odd levels. After that, I believe the stock should touch 25, 30 plus level, because see, the QIP rate was around 12, 12.5 रुपए के आसपास आया था, and that was huge success for this company. So I believe the momentum have started, and I think 30 plus odd levels, I think within a year or two, I think the target should come for Idea.
राइट राघवेंद्र जी, एक बात बताइए, इतने सारे आप स्टॉक आइडिया शेयर कर रहे हो लॉन्ग साइड पे, HDFC बैंक 1520 से 1700, आइडिया यहाँ से 2-4-5 रुपया ऊपर, फिर अशोक लेलैंड, टाटा मोटर्स, इन सब के लिए पैसा कहाँ से आएगा?
सर आपको डिफेंस स्टॉक में से पैसे बाहर निकालने पड़ेंगे, डिफेंस में अच्छा पैसा बन गया, वहां से पैसा निकालिए, इसमें डालिए। आपको आपको कोचिन शिपयार्ड बहुत अच्छे लेवल पे
और
दिख रहा है। तो मुझे लगता है कहीं ना कहीं तो आपको शिफ्टिंग करना ही
तो
पड़ेगा, क्योंकि हमारे पास, आपके पास नोट छापने की मशीन तो है नहीं यार। तो जो हमारे इन्वेस्टर्स हैं, जो हमारे व्यूअर्स हैं, डेफिनेटली ये
बिल्कुल
उनका भी
सर।
क्वेश्चन है।
और
सो आई बिलीव
हाँ,
कि वी हैव टू शिफ्ट द स्टॉक फ्रॉम वन टू अनदर, बिकॉज एक में प्रॉफिट हो रहा है तो बुक करिए, दूसरे में शिफ्ट कीजिए, यही ऑप्शन है हमारे पास।
चलिए आपकी बात सर आंखों पर। और लेट्स अगेन सी द ग्राफ ऑफ अशोक लेलैंड एंड टाटा मोटर्स. The line to be noted here, ladies and gentlemen, is that the government, according to some reports, is thinking in terms of providing incentives to heavy commercial vehicle makers to boost the mining and the metal sector, and of course to boost logistics and transportation businesses by reducing the costs of these two parts. So that is the reason why you see this very bullish move that is coming in Ashok Leyland in particular, and Tata Motors fits in the bill for one very strong reason, ladies and gentlemen, which is that in this month of May, when you have record highs across the board, Tata Motors is actually down 4.3% in the F&O space within the auto framework. So this is a swing trade in the making in Tata Motors, and Ashok Leyland has been one of the outperforming stocks, 19% higher so far in the month of May, and therefore that momentum needs to be caught up. So with these two backgrounds in mind, the price action, a swing trade and a momentum trade in the making, please keep these two stocks on your radar. Let's also look at one more stock in the auto ancillaries, in the auto space. Actually, we've discussed a lot of frontline OEMs, but it's the auto ancillaries that are also shining very brightly. Look at Bharat Forge, 5% higher, up with an open interest of 10%. You have stocks such as Alicon Cast Alloys. You have stocks such as Timken India, which are doing very well. So it's the auto ancillary space that is buzzing. Raghvendra ji, Bharat Forge के बारे में क्या राय? Record high, needless to say, and a very strong built up in open interest.
Definitely, Shal. I think the open interest is very good in Bharat Forge, and the stock has given a strong breakout above 1496 today. Now it is trading around 1560, 1575 odd levels. अब इससे बढ़िया मोमेंट और क्या मिलेगा? अभी भी यहाँ से मुझे लग रहा है कि 100 सवा 100 रुपए की रैली अभी भी है, बिकॉज द थिंग इज वी आर एंटरिंग इनटू द मंथली एक्सपायरी नाउ. द शॉर्ट ट्रेडर्स हैव बीन ट्रैप्ड इन भारत फोर्ज. नाउ दे डोंट हैव एनी स्पेस टू एग्जिट, सो दे हैव टू कवर देयर शॉर्ट, एंड आई बिलीव the 1500 1540 जो call writers and they have been trapped badly. So I think Bharat Forge can give this rally up to 1670 1700 levels.
Okay, got that. So that's as far as Bharat Forge and the move on that one is concerned. The other space, Raghavendra, since you were saying ki this is the right time to, you can take out money from defense stocks, but HAL there is again no let up. Again, the stock is up 5% in trade today. BDL after the split is again up 9.5%. Now this is likely to again create a lot of FOMO within investors कि अभी छोड़ के जाएं, क्या पता और तेजी बाकी है. What is the right way to then address this space?
साक्षी, ये तो रहेगा हमेशा कि हाँ अभी यहाँ से अगर बेच दिया ऊपर गया तो ये तो मलाल हमेशा रहेगा. लेकिन देखो एक चीज तो कंफर्म है, इंसान हो या मार्केट, जाना सबको ऊपर ही एक दिन. सो ऐसा नहीं कि स्टॉक बेच दिया तो स्टॉक फिर ऊपर नहीं जाएगा. बट द थिंग इज all defense stock have given a decent rally from past week and 10 days, so almost they have been doubled. So I believe कि अब यहाँ पे थोड़ा बहुत प्रॉफिट बुक करना चाहिए. They have become very expensive nowadays, because see the thing is अभी जो 20 का पी था वो ऑलमोस्ट 40-50 का पी हो गया है. So I think it is the time to take out some money and shift the money into some other space. There are TVS Motor है, अशोक लेलैंड है, टाटा मोटर है ऑटो स्पेस में, एंड अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट फार्मा में जाइए आप, अरबिंदो फार्मा, सन फार्मा इज देयर. एंड इसके अलावा आपको जाना मेटल में. मेटल आई एम सेइंग सिंस लास्ट फ्यू मंथ that next 2 to 3 years is going for only for metal. So metal is a good bet. I think वो करना चाहिए. तो धीरे धीरे पैसा शिफ्ट करके कहीं ना कहीं और लगाना ही पड़ेगा आपको.
Right. So, metals, you're saying Hindalco came out with the earnings today. Where exactly would you be more positive as far as the metal space is concerned? Hindalco, we've seen that it has reported its numbers. I will pull out the earnings also in the meanwhile. But the stock has not done much today. It was rising ahead of the earnings. How would you really assess it?
Hindalco, actually, the stock has given U-turn from 700 level and now it is trading around 675. It is a good time to buy because the stock has given almost 30 rupees downfall. So I think this is definitely a good opportunity where one can buy with the stop loss of very small stop loss of 670 or 665 odd level. Apart from this, sale is again hovering around 170 odd levels. Now, the stock has given breakout above 170, 172. अगर इसके ऊपर क्लोजिंग होता है then definitely we can buy sell also.
Okay, so Hindalco and SAIL both you can buy. Hindalco has reported a profit at 1412 crores. This is much higher than the estimates of 840 odd crore rupees odd. Revenues have come in at 22,140 odd crores. This is higher than 20,000 odd crore rupees of revenues that the street was estimating as well. And SAIL is the other one that Raghavendra is very, very bullish on as well. How would you really assess Coal India? That also came out with the earnings. You have been one of the biggest vocalists as far as Coal India is concerned. You've been recommending the stock on our channel since 220 odd levels and now it's at 500. So it's doubled investors' wealth from the time that you've been talking about Coal India. What next now?
Coal India above 500. Congratulations, Sakshi. Your portfolio has increased now. Now the next target is what? The next target is again I am expecting Fibonacci. As per the Fibonacci series, I believe 670 rupees is the next target. So I'm not worried about any kind of result and all. I'm just buying the stock. I'm just holding this at every level. Buy and hold Coal India. It is a diamond India.
क्या बात है. वैसे भी coal is known as a black diamond and the world's largest producer of coal, ladies and gentlemen, has the Indian flag on top of it. Full parts to be mentioned as far as Raghavendra's views are concerned. Remember, we are at peak power consumption as far as the summer across India is concerned. All thermal power plants are running at full steam and they are fed only by Coal India. So automatic demand coming up as far as the need for coal is concerned, and even at current prices Coal India is having a very strong dividend yield of about 2%. So that you need to keep in mind. Let's just shift focus to the Nifty, Sakshi. Things for the moment seem to be muted. The index is now flat, as flat can be, 22,970. The IT index is in the red, 172 points lower. What's holding the market together is the broad-based NSE 500, the mid-cap 100 and the small-cap indices, and of course the Bank Nifty. Still up 200 points. A lot of effort being put in by State Bank of India, HDFC Bank and Axis Bank. That's the sentiment so far. I'll just take a small detour into the volume buzzers as far as the Nifty 500 is concerned. Lots of heavy trade happening in Cochin shipyard. I need to mention this for two reasons, ladies and gentlemen. It's the second most active traded counter on the NSE 500. This is ahead of its earnings. They should be out post market hours, 2.8% higher. In the morning it had crossed 2015, 2016. Remember we had talked about it early part of market today morning. In the last maybe 4 or 5 sessions, Cochin shipyard has accelerated from 1300 rupees to 2000 rupees. These are overstretched charts. You need to be very, very careful. And Sakshi, the top traded counter today is Hindustan Aeronautics, 5% higher. Some time ago it was 8-9% higher at 51.94. Again, I am just marking the price. I am not taking a technical view because the charts look super overstretched. Today's volume on Hindustan Aeronautics is 4,348 crores. I'll give you some very good data on the average of 5 days. That, ladies and gentlemen, is 2,380 crores. So today's 5% rally has come on double volume, but it has come down from 8% high to 5%. Sakshi.
All right, let's again get back to the markets to see where exactly is momentum carrying on at this point in time. It's the power financiers that are again gaining ground. PFC now up 5% in trade, REC up by 3% in trade as well. The momentum does not just stop in these two. Where do you see these stocks headed? Is it too late to take a fresh entry into these as well? Raghavendra, just like you've talked about the defense space, now is power finance space also running away too ahead of fundamentals?
Definitely, Sakshi. I think REC, given a new breakout above 554, but now this is a supply zone. I'll just wait for one more days and then I'll see if we are sustaining here or not. If we don't sustain here, I believe again we can retest 530, 520 odd levels. Same with the PFC. So PFC already it is an overstaged price. So I think we have to wait for some more days, 1 or 2 days to see what is the action going on in the open interest and the chart. So both these stocks are overbought. Have to wait for actually I'll avoid trading in these two stocks. See, Shailji, I just noticed, one thing, Nifty has given triple top breakout above 22,800 odd levels. So, above that, the next target should come around 23,800 if I'm not mistaken, because, from 21,800 to 22,800 is the 1,000 point rally. उसके ऊपर जो breakout है triple top का, वो almost 1,000 point का आता है. So I'm very much positive in the Nifty. ये 22,800 का level touch होना चाहिए within a week or maybe in the next month.
राघवेंद्र जी, देखिए, जैसा कि आपने कहा, दो चीज़ें निश्चित हैं, इंसान का अंत और बाजार का ऊपर जाना. तो 22,800 23,800 सॉरी 22,800 माफ़ कीजिए 23,800, हाँ बिल्कुल दिख रहा है. मतलब मेरे को तो 22,200 माफ़ कीजिए 23,200 और 23,500 दिख रहा है. लेकिन हाँ, 23,800 का भी टाइम आएगा, जैसे 30,000 और 35,000 का भी टाइम आएगा. मेरे को परेशानी आज ये है कि बस आज का जो क्लोज है वो 23,000 के ऊपर हो जाए तो गनीमत है, वरना हम तो बहुत ही क्या कहते हैं छोटे दिल के इंसान हैं. 8-10 दिन की रैली हुई है, 1,200 पॉइंट आ गए, ठीक है, मंडे को फिर देख लेंगे, नए हफ्ते की शुरुआत होगी. लेकिन इस वक्त बाजार बिल्कुल खामोश है. इंतज़ार कर रहा है कि कोई मोमेंटम आए, कुछ आए, और बाजार तेज़ी से उठे. लेकिन फ़िलहाल जो अक्लमंद ट्रेडर है वो काफ़ी प्रॉफिट बुकिंग कर रहा है हफ्ते से पहले और वीकेंड से पहले, क्योंकि उसे पैसे चाहिए खर्चे करने के लिए, और वो पैसे बाज़ार से ही आएंगे. आपको कुछ और दिख रहा है तेज़ी में राघवेंद्र जी? ABFRL 4% ऊपर 292.
बिल्कुल एलजी, ये स्टॉक जो है आदित्य बिरला ग्रुप में आप देखो तो ABFRL हो गया या फिर AB कैपिटल, बोथ स्टॉक्स आर ट्रेडिंग एट वेरी गुड लेवल. मुझे लगता है कि AB कैपिटल में अच्छी रैली होने वाली. मुझे लगता है AB कैपिटल इज नाउ लुकिंग गुड फॉर 240 ऑड लेवल्स. तो ये होना चाहिए. ABFRL बहुत दिनों के बाद रैली दिया है. मुझे लगता है ABFRL भी 300 प्लस का टारगेट है बिल्कुल भी.
ओके, चलिए राघवेंद्र जी, एक और स्पेस पे आपकी राय चाहेंगे, और वो है फर्टिलाइज़र शेयर्स में जो आज तेज़ी नज़र आ रही है. अब वो NFL हो, RCF हो, फैक्ट हो, सब में 5 से 6% तक का एक मूव नज़र आ रहा है. आप इसको कैसे देख रहे हैं, एंड इज़ देयर एनी मोमेंटम दैट यू वुड एडवाइज टू चेज?
साक्षी ये बिल्कुल सीजनल स्टॉक्स हैं, बारिश के टाइम पे या ऐसे टाइम पे आते हैं इसमें, और फिर 6-8 महीने शांति रहती है। तो इस टाइम पे इन्वेस्ट करना, और इसमें कोई अगर इन्वेस्टर फंस जाता है बेचारा तो उसको 6 महीने वेट करना पड़ता है। तो बेटर है कि कुछ और स्टॉक में देखें। मोमेंटम आर गुड, आई थिंक आरसीएफ इज लुकिंग गुड ऑन द चार्ट। आरसीएफ कैन टच अराउंड 165 और लेवल्स। अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट मुझे लगता है चंबल फर्टिलाइजर इज गिवन अ वेरी गुड ब्रेकआउट अब 380 और लेवल्स। तो मुझे लग रहा है कि शायद हो सकता है चंबल फर्टिलाइजर 420-25 का लेवल दिखाई दे, बट लॉन्ग टर्म के व्यू पे नहीं, मुझे लगता है शॉर्ट टर्म में निकल जाना चाहिए, थोड़ा बहुत लेके प्रॉफिट इसमें से।
Okay, got that. Well, thank you so much, Raghavendra, for being with us on this edition and sharing those pearls of wisdom for all our viewers. Truly appreciate your presence. Thank you so much, and we will get back to you very, very soon on Market Today and on Business Today Television. Hope you have a great weekend ahead.
Thank you so much.
Let's now shift focus to a lot of results that are coming in. One, I will detail for our viewers, Suzlon's results. A lot of our viewers have been writing to us on our comment section on our YouTube platform, those who have actually participated in the recent run-up in Suzlon, as to how the results will come in. So let me detail for you. The stock has dropped about 4.5% after the earnings. So consolidated profit has reduced from 278 crores earlier in the last year same quarter to 254 crores this year in Q4. So definitely the consolidated profit has fallen. Let's look at if we also have the revenue figures also for this one, and I will be detailing that also for you in a bit. I'm trying to figure out if there are more numbers that are coming in, but definitely there is a sharp reaction to the profit figure for sure as far as the stock price is concerned. I'll figure out more details. Meanwhile, anything else that looks positive to you, Shell?
Sakshi, HUDCO is reacting on numbers. Fourth quarter net profit is at 700 crores versus 639 crores a year ago, and the revenue for the quarter gone by is 2065 crores versus 1850 crores year on year. Remember, these are all now hugely overstretched on the charts. No matter how strong the profit growth is, those people who've moved the stock from 220 to 260 in the case of HUDCO, and in the case of Suzlon from 41 to 48 will now be exiting with smart gains. So this is what needs to be looked at. Jamna Auto has also come up with a very modest kind of a show. Jamna Auto Industries fourth quarter consolidated net profit is at 54.8 crores versus 52.5 crores. Absolutely flat. The revenue is flat as well. For the fourth quarter, 640 crores versus 634 crores a year ago in the same quarter. Jamna Auto stock is still in the green, 0.5% higher, 131. Sakshi, there seems to be some strong bout of profit booking happening on the Nifty. Now the intraday low is 22,930. Just a very sharp dip, but from that an equally strong recovery. Remember, now we are also in the last phase of the monthly F1O expiry of the Nifty, which ends on 30th May, and the index has rallied 2.5% so far as the Nifty is concerned in the past week, and over the month it's up 1.8%. So we need to keep these broader moves also in mind. Remember, a chart moves by looking to its left. If you see a very sharp run up, then obviously near the weekend or near expiry you will see profit booking, and if you see a very sharp downtick, then obviously it reverts back to the mean. It now looks increasingly difficult that 23,000 will be there on the charts as far as the daily and the weekly close is concerned, but like I said, nothing at all to be worried about. We've had a great 9 days of successive gains, and probably the market is now cooling off ahead of tomorrow's elections in New Delhi. Sakshi.
Right. Let's also welcome Kunal Rambia with us, the founder of the Streets. Kunal, warm welcome. Thank you so much for taking the time out for Business Today and for Market Today as well. Tell us what are you really looking at adding in this record high market, and where are you booking profits?
Good afternoon, Sakshi. Good afternoon, Shelsa, and afternoon to all our viewers. So, if you look at the overall index rally, it's been tremendous. Yeah, it's been almost 2 months of sideways consolidation, and what we are witnessing today and yesterday actually was the first breakout, and today is a kind of follow through. I was just listening to the conversation of Shelsa with the previous guest also. Yes, 23,200, 250 kind of levels look very likely, and it's the first breakout, so a kind of retesting on the breakout is likely. But yeah, overall the trend will remain positive. And I'm focusing on those counters which are giving a fresh breakout, like fertilizer companies or the defense companies, which are looking really attractive. So yes, those are the pockets where I'm eyeing on for next 15 to 20 days.
Right. Kunal, anything else when it comes to the defense space that's really moving the markets at this point in time? How are you looking at this space? Is it too overheated? A lot of our analysts coming on our show are saying that probably this is the right time to start booking out some profits. Do you also share that view?
See, if you talk about the words of HAL and the Mazgaon dog, and yes, certainly they are looking overheated, and the trend has still been positive. But if you look at the counter, which we earlier discussed on our channel, and that was the Paras defense. Now, this counter has not really even picked up from the extreme low levels. If you look at the overall trend of the counter, it was more or less sideways. From 1250, the counter made the low of around 450. And in today's session, it's giving the major breakout of last 2 years of consolidation. That breakout was placed at around 830. Counter is right now trading at 860. So I think there is a lot of room for the upside for this particular counter. Overall, defense space is definitely looking overbought and overheated also. But again, as Shelser knows, we generally look at the trend of the market and the counter. So if the trend is positive, I'll certainly remain on the buying side, and my approach will be buy on dip. But this is a counter which is still showing the more potential for the upside even from the present levels.
Okay, Suzlon numbers are out. So net profit is down by 8.6% at 254 crores. The revenue is up 30%, however, at 2196 crores. The EBITDA has improved by 54% at 357 crores, and margins have come in at 16.3 crores versus 16.3% versus 13.7%. So those are the numbers that are coming out for all our viewers who've been looking at Suzlon. Yes, Shal.
Yeah, Kunal, good afternoon and a very warm welcome. I barely know anything about markets, but you are kind to praise me. Thank you so much. Let's look at a couple of stocks. What do you think of L&T? A very smart breakout happening there. One of the best performers all of this week on the Nifty, as also on the FNO. And HDFC Bank. What is the prognosis from current levels?
See, Shelter, whether you know the market or not, but your picks are always on the correct side of the trend of the market. And L&T is again one of those counters which is showing extremely, super comeback from the recent correction. If you look at the overall structure of L&T, the counter actually came down from 3850 to as low as 3250. And from bottom, it has recovered almost 50% of that entire the lost the terrain, and right now it's trading near to the breakout zone, which is at 3600 to 3650. It's trading at 3630. So yes, looking at this entire consolidation of last 2 months and the recovery, I think it's poised for a new high. So the targets on this can be as high as 3900, which is for L&T. Now, if I talk about HDFC Bank, we actually shortlisted this counter yesterday itself. The only reason being, after the consolidation, the yesterday was the first day where counter gave the hands up, saying that yes, I'm ready for the rally. And look at today's behavior again, 1.5% up. It looks like a perfect bottom formation on the chart with the stop loss of around 1460. One can initiate a buy, and the targets can be as high as 1600, and which will actually take the Nifty Bank Nifty also to new highs. So yes, I think HDFC can now outperform all other banking space counters and help the Nifty Bank Nifty to go new high.
And Sakshi, another interesting development. I think those people who take buy the dip philosophy very seriously just stepped in, and they bought a whole chunk of Nifty at 22,930, 22,940, and we are now back at 22,982. Maybe it's Kunal's presence that's activating Nifty bulls. So the hope lives, ladies and gentlemen, and we see we see the Nifty back in the green, 11-12 points higher. Let's see how the next 20 minutes pan out. Like I have said at the beginning of the conversation, I'm hoping to see a daily and a weekly close above 23,000. These are, just numbers, but as they say, it's numbers that make up the market. And once that happens, it's a very, very strong weekly close that comes into the picture, ladies and gentlemen. Let's focus on Axis Bank. It's been a long time since I've checked out Axis Bank on the charts. For the moment, it's 1176. Wonderful chart, wonderful chart. Kunal, you take over. All-time high is 1182. We saw that on 30th of April. What are the charts now telling you?
Shells a little behind 30th April. There was 25th April where we saw the first breakout of this chart. This entire consolidation of 2024 came to an end on 25th April. There was a first breakout. We saw the new high, and then we saw the retesting of the breakout, and now it's continuation. So yes, it's a perfectly a trending counter. But again, as you rightly highlighted, 1180, that's the immediate resistance for counter. Trend is certainly positive. So if someone is holding on, one can definitely hold on with the trailing stop loss of 1155. But if someone is not holding, then let's wait just for this 5 points to go. Once the counter makes the new high, then one can initiate a buy, and the targets can be 1210 to 15 kind of levels.
Okay. Right. Well, apart from this, again, I'm looking at the oil and gas space buzzing in action with BPCL up 4%, HPCL about 2% higher in trade, IOC again buzzing in trade. You have ONGC that's also in the buzz. How are you looking at the oil and gas space now that the crude oil prices have started to ebb lower, below $82 a barrel as well? How would you really look at this space?
So actually, if you look at the overall formation of this entire pack, that is BPCL, HPCL, and IOC, all counters are looking very attractive. They are making a curve formation, but the only concern is that now these counters are reaching near the previous high. Though there is a lot of space for the previous high on HPCL, which is near to around, I think, 595, 600 kind of levels. The counter is trading at 550. 545, 550. So yes, I think 45, 50 points more to go on this side, on the upside for HPCL, but BPCL has almost reached the previous high. So I'll not be very aggressive in trading these counters, because curve formation generally has a tendency to trap the people and then again give the buying opportunity near the low. So yes, it can be a buy on dip kind of segment, but not something to trade like a breakout. But yeah, extremely bullish on the entire formation and the entire sector as such.
Okay, got that. Let's again look at where is attention being drawn at this point in time. Let's look at the big contributors right now to this recovery also that's coming in. Again, it's HDFC Bank that's contributing 46 points after 50 points it contributed yesterday. L&T 12 points, Bharti Airtel 6 points, Axis Bank 6 points. So it's banks all the way and HDFC Bank at the hem of it. Where do you see this headed now, Kunal?
See a very clear trend, Sakshi, and as we just discussed in the beginning itself, I think Bank Nifty is ready for at least, I'm being very conservative after today's rally also. I think it's ready for 1000 points rally, and which will hit the new high very soon. Bank Nifty made the low on 22nd May, and the support was at 47,550. It made low of 47,430. That particular point in time when the low was getting formed, I thought it's a breakdown, but the closing was higher, and in last 2 days we have seen a massive rally. So I think Bank Nifty is ready for a new high, and as we discussed in the beginning of this show itself, I think HDFC Bank can lead the rally from here on for the Bank Nifty to make a new high.
Okay, I think we need to look at one important development, Sakshi, which is again in the Bank Nifty. We'll look at a view on State Bank of India from Kunal. This is a stock that has hit record highs today, and of course has moved on fairly decent open interest. Kunal, we've discussed HDFC Bank in detail, but here is India's largest bank hitting a fresh peak. Where is this headed from now on?
Shell, sir, yes, certainly it made actually a new high, all-time high. But if you look at the overall formation on the chart, the entire month of May, counter is actually seems to be struggling to cross 840 mark. Now I'm talking about 3rd of May, the high was around 836. We saw the similar high that's on 9th of May, which was at around 840. Today's high is 841 and now it's trading at 828 again. So it's lower, it's finding that resistance, that area is turning as a resistance for the counter. So by any chance, if the counter manages to give close above say 835, 840 mark, I'll certainly turn very bullish on this. But otherwise, I see I'm not expecting the counter to come down, but I think this sideways momentum with positive bias net might just continue. Momentum might pick up because of the overall sentiment, but unless and until it gives a breakout above 835, 840, I think we'll just try to stay away from this and we'll focus more on private sector banks and those mid cap PSU banks, which are again looking attractive.
Okay, fair point. That's a very sensible view coming in. SBI is a high beta stock, but it had paid a very heavy price post its earnings, which was spectacular, by the way. And now it's again getting its mojo back. It's a slow mover, but remember, it's India's largest bank by any measure. It controls about 27% of Indian banking and has a huge importance as far as the credit growth and credit dispersal in India is concerned. A couple of good moves are coming as far as short covering is concerned, ladies and gentlemen. When markets are up, you need a dash of sweetness, and that comes in from Balrampur Chini. A drop in open interest accompanied by a rise in price. Balrampur Chini for you, Kunalji. Where do you think this stock is headed?
Shelji, December 2003 and so far, counter has made a broader consolidation formation. See, you always claim that you know the least about market, but your stock picks are always going to be from those consolidation with the favorable risk reward ratio. And again, this counter is one of those counters. Extremely favorable risk reward ratio from someone who wants to hold the position for a little long period of time. The stop loss on this can be 370. That's on a conservative basis. We are keeping little away. I think the breakout will be at around 410, which is going to be the entire curve formation breakout. And above that, the targets can be 440. But yes, from risk reward point of view, this is perfectly poised for the eye-catching opportunity. So yes, with the stop loss of 370, one can initiate a buy. Keep an eye on it. The breakout can be 410, targets can be 440.
Okay, got that. So that's Balrampur Chini for you. The other space that warrants attention, Kunal, is the Adani group of stocks. Of course, we were talking about how Adani Enterprises is expected to replace Wipro within the Sensex 30, being the first company in the group to do so. And Adani Enterprises today has gotten rid of the Hindenburg's car because all the losses that followed since its February lows have been recovered as well. But the company is now going to be looking at fundraising from next week. Adani Energy Solutions is also planning to raise funds. How would you be really looking at these group stocks?
Sakshi, the trend is again, if we first talk about the trend is definitely intact. As you rightly mentioned, the strength in the Adani Enterprise counter was seen really good in the recent times after making the low of around 2750. Counter has now made the high of 3450, which is massive. But again, once the announcement, we always believe the fact that the market discounts everything. So these announcements which are followed through, I think the rally is now getting justified from here on. We'll just have to see how the price action takes place further. As of now, if I want to initiate a buy on Adani Enterprise, let's take an example at 3385, my stop loss is very far and that's almost at around 3150 to 3200. So I'll just wait for the price to come down a bit, say somewhere near to 3250. I think I'll think of initiating a buy. My stop loss in that case will be 3150 and then I'll think of riding this rally further. If someone is holding, then it's absolutely fine. But I think fresh entry ke liye, we'll just wait for a bit of consolidation and correction to keep the stop loss near to that particular low.
Right. Now, when we talk about stock market all-time highs, we cannot not talk about the capital market related stocks. I'm talking about the old favorites coming back. BSE is buzzing in trade today, and this is after there's a brokerage house report, Investec report, that has initiated long fast on the stock. And the brokerage believes that the company benefits from market share tailwinds and margin triggers going forward from here. Kunal, what would you say on BSE? How does the stock look to you?
See, very interesting formations actually on the chart now. I just take you back to the high of December 2023, and let me just tell you the date. That's 4th December 2023. The high was 2600. From there, counter came down again in February 2024. The high was 2600, and finally we saw the breakout of that 2600 level on 1st of April, where the counter gave a closing at around 2740. That was a decisive breakout, and since then, counter has consistently held on to this particular breakout level, which was 2600. Just see yesterday's low, that's again at around 2600. So yes, this level is a strong support for now. The trend is very much positive. It's been 2 months, the counter is in sideways consolidation, but 2600 seems to be a perfect support. So with the stop loss of 2575, little lower than that particular support, one can initiate a buy. And I think the targets can again be open to 3300 to 3400, which are the previous highs, and even it can just continue on the higher side because we have already witnessed time correction. So overall formation is good. One can initiate a buy, stop loss 2575, targets can be the previous high and even the new high.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's now start wrapping up what has been a fabulous week. But before that, I'll bring Cochin Shipyard right there in front of you, just a percent higher at 1912. Why I say this, it's just a percent higher, because in the morning this was up very, very smartly at about 2030, and that totaled somewhere like a 7% gain. A decent bout of profit booking has happened ahead of its quarterly numbers today. Let's see what they bring, and then obviously post the weekend on Monday the stock will react. Hindustan Aeronautics is also mildly weak. The reason why I say this, it was up 8% in the morning, now up just 4%. These are the two stocks which have gained very strong traction, both traded above 4,000 crores in terms of volume, and about 4,600 as far as Hindustan Aeronautics is concerned. I'd also like to point out Adani Ports. This is a very, very strong volume that has come in on Adani Ports. It's the top volume buzzer on the Nifty 50 of 1.9 crore shares. This is 6 times the 5-day average, and the counter is mildly in the red, 1.8% lower. Let's look at the weekly gainers as far as the Nifty is concerned. Very, very sharp bout of gains coming in on Adani Enterprises. Sakshi mentioned a great detail. It's pushed back Hindenburg into oblivion now. This was the price you saw before the report came in, and now obviously 33.88. Coal India 6% higher this week, 501. This is fresh record high territory. Adani Ports is also 5% higher on a weekly basis. L&T, this is the star performer according to me, 36.27. These are the top 5 gainers as far as Nifty is concerned over the week. The losers are Sun Pharma post earnings, down about 3% over the week at about 1485. You have modest losses in Nestle and HDFC Life. Sakshi, what's really important to note is that on a weekly basis, the advanced decline ratio of the Nifty is 44:6. This is a very, very positive development. It goes on to show that large parts of blue chips are now edging higher with gains, and of course trying to make a very strong up move from now on. That's as far as the weekly gains are concerned. In the F&O space, let me look at the top performer this week. Well, no surprise, BEL 14% higher, 296. The stock briefly went above 300 in the market today, and this of course is mainly because of the stunning numbers that BEL brought in, and of course the rally that you've seen in defense stocks. Some names are common. I'll also look at Coforge, 8% higher, 5110. Remember, the news of QIP coming in has been beneficial, and then the usual suspects are there: Coal India, Voltas, Bharat Forge, Power Finance Corporation, and of course Divi's Lab. Over to you.
Right. So Kunal, just about 5 minutes to go for the markets to shut shop and for the weekly trade to wrap up. Any BTST calls that you'd like to highlight?
Sakshi, I have shortlisted a couple of counters for the next week and even for the next entire month. The first counter is National Fertilizer. Now, if you look at that counter, today's volume is massive, and this entire consolidation, which we are witnessing from February so far, is now coming to an end. This counter is up by around 6% even at the present level. I think with the stop loss of 100, one can initiate a buy, and the targets can be as high as 125 to 130. The second counter which I would like to highlight here is FCL, that is Finotex Chemical. Again, we have discussed this counter earlier also on our channel. Now, this counter is a perfect trending counter with the stop loss of around 360. One can initiate a buy and the targets can be as high as 415. And the third counter is Paras Defense, which is giving a fresh breakout. Today it's up by 10%. One can initiate a buy on decline. The stop loss can be around 790 and the targets can be 950 to almost 1000 levels.
Okay, fair enough. One more counter I'll ask you on Geo Financial Services. Let's focus on that one. Why there is a news piece that the company is now seeking shareholder approval for its unit to acquire equipment worth 360 billion rupees or $4.33 billion from the retail arm of Reliance Industries, as the financial services provider now plans to enter the device leasing business. That's what has been notified by the company, and this will mean a $4.33 billion deal with Reliance Retail that Geo Financial is now looking at. Stock is still subdued. It did have that spike come in probably when the news came out, but 0.7% lower in trade right now. How are you looking at this stock, Kunal?
See, Sakshi, this counter we initiated a buy on 5th of Feb when it gave the first breakout at 265 and our in-house target was 365. We exited there. Actually, in fact, it went up to 395. It came lower and again it's struggling near to that 365. So unless and until it gives a decisive closing about 385, 390 from here on, I'll just stay away from this because the formations are missing as of now on the chart. One can initiate a buy near 340 where the risk reward ratio will be favorable. So we'll revisit again. But for now, at this level, I think it's an avoid counter. We'll revisit once it reaches near 340 mark.
Okay, got that. Well, thank you so much, Kunal, for being with us on this special edition and sharing all those
Absolutely,
wonderful
my
insights
pleasure.
with our viewers as well. Hope you have a fantastic weekend ahead. And
Same
we
to you.
are now at 22,950, about 19 points lower in trade. Just 2 minutes to go. Shell 23,000 close is not happening today, but I'm sure the next week will have much higher highs, just like how Kunal and Raghavendra both had said 23,500 may be coming in next week too. The Nifty Bank holds on to its gains, 0.4% higher, 190 points up at 48,962 right now, and broader markets end lower in trade, flattish with a negative bias on the mid cap 100 index. Small caps about 0.2% lower in trade right now. The India works shot up by 1.7%, but not too much of a disturbance right there. When we look at the levels, it's similar to 21.3 odd levels that we saw last week too. Sectorally speaking, there were gains on media space, on financial services, on the banks we've discussed, autos, and apart from this, oil and gas. Rest of the sectors did see some losses or profits being taken off the table. IT, FMCG, metals, pharma, PSU banks also, realty, consumer durables, they all slipped into the red. But top movers, HDFC Bank, L&T, BPCL, Bharti Airtel, Axis Bank. And on the lower side, you did have stocks like Adani Ports, Tata Consumer Products, Titan, Tech Mahindra, M&M and TCS as the laggards right now. Anything else, Shell, that you want to add?
Yes, Sakshi. I think we'll take a detour into the mid-cap space as well. Remember, there was an 8-day uptick on the Nifty mid-cap index, and some of the gains have been phenomenal. Those are the ones that I'd like to highlight. RVNL, 23% higher. Needless to say, this is a record high in the past week, 369. Union Bank of India, 10.8% higher. You have Lodha Developers at 1336, up 11%, and of course stocks like ABRFL adding 9% to its weekly tally. A whole host of stocks, Sakshi, that are up between 5 and 7% on the Nifty mid cap index, and we've discussed all of them. Balkrishna Industries post earnings 8% higher, record high. HPCL, Indian Bank, Bank of Maharashtra, Voltas. The point I'm trying to make is that this is a very, very broad-based rally, ladies and gentlemen, and it is accompanied by sharp upticks in both price and volume. The best way to play is via ETFs or funds. The best way to benefit from this is to remain invested, not to time the market, but to spend time with stocks. That's the secret of wealth, and that's the secret of compounding, ladies and gentlemen. Over to you, Sakshi.
Right. With that, viewers, we will wrap it up at that. Many thanks from both Shell and me on this special trading session. But do stay tuned, as Business Today will continue to get you more insights from the world of business and finance, even beyond the stock market hours.
Days of twists, turns and missing evidence. The victim of an alleged assault at Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal's residence, Swati Maliwal, has spoken out, detailing the horror that unfolded on May 13th.
उस वक्त वो अकेले थे उस कमरे में, और जब इतना ज़्यादा मुझे वो पीट चुके थे, उसके बाद मैंने किसी तरीके से अपने आप को छुड़ाया और